third term that we are going to discuss is the speed. Speed, as we know that it is the measure of distance covered in unit time or in a specific time. So एक specific time के अंदर अंदर आप जितना भी distance cover करेंगे that would be your speed. For example, if you cover 5 kilometer distance in 30 minutes, then 5 kilometers divided by 30 minutes, that would be your speed, right? So 5 kilometers in 30 minutes, that is going to be your speed, right? As we are talking about the distance in unit time, so this is a scalar quantity, as distance is also a scalar quantity and time is also a scalar quantity, so the resultant would also be a scalar quantity. Mathematically, speed equals to distance divided by elapsed time. Distance between 2 points, that is why we have to take del s divided by elapsed time is actually your time that is passed between while you travel from one point to another point. So time elapsed time भी आप लिख सकते हैं या time passed भी लिख सकते हैं. So distance divided by time passed or equals to del s by del t. इस del का मतलब है that a change in distance or the change in time, कि आपने किस distance से start किया और कहाँ तक जाकर आपने end किया, या फिर आप कितने टाइम से start लिया आपने और कितने टाइम पर जाकर end किया. For example, you started when the time was 2 p.m. and the journey ended when the time was 3 p.m. Okay, so the distance from point A to point B took 1 hour because 3 minus 2 equals to 1. इस दौरान 2 p.m. से लेकर 3 p.m. तक 3 minus 2 1 hour पास हो चुका था. So 3 minus 2 1 hour is the elapsed time and the distance from A to B, let's suppose, is 2 kilometers. So आपने 0 kilometer से start लिया and you went to 2 kilometers. So 2 minus 1 equals to minus 0 equals to 2 kilometers is your distance. So just travel 2 kilometers in 1 hour. ठीक है? That is why we always write del S equals to SF minus SI, where SF is the final distance and SI is the initial distance, or you can say SF is the ending distance, or you can say the ending value, and distance SI is your starting value, or we call it initial value. So this is the starting value that we get and this is the final value, right? So starting value in this case यहाँ पर क्या थी 0 kilometers. एंडिंग वैल्यू क्या थी हमारे पास 2 किलोमीटर. हमने 2 किलोमीटर पर जाकर स्टॉप किया. सो एंडिंग वैल्यू हमारे पास 2 किलोमीटर थी. सो 2 किलोमीटर माइनस 0 किलोमीटर डिवाइडेड बाय हमने टाइम कहाँ से स्टार्ट किया 2 p.m. से एंड 2 किलोमीटर पर पहुँचने तक टाइम हो चुका था 3 p.m. सो 3 was the final value, 3 for TF minus 2 p.m. for TI, 3 minus 2. It will give you 2 minus 0, 2 divided by 3 minus 2, 1. This is actually your 2 divided by 1 is 2 and this is actually your kilometer per hour. 2 kilometers per hour would be your speed, right? So del S is therefore the distance travel and del T is actually your time that has passed when traveling from one point to another point. Its unit is meters per second, of course, because meter is the unit of distance and second is the unit of time, or meters m divided by s, or m s minus 1. Del, this is actually this triangle, little triangle is called, pronounced as delta or del. Usually हम इसे del ही use कहते हैं. This is used to describe the change in starting value and the ending value. कहाँ से स्टार्ट लिया और कहाँ तक एंड किया, इस दरमियान जो चेंज हुई है वैल्यू, दैट इज रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय द सिंबल del. ठीक है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस वी स्टार्ट वॉकिंग फ्रॉम 0 मीटर टू 3 मीटर इन 2 seconds. इन दिस केस आपने कहाँ पर जाकर एंड किया, फाइनल वैल्यू सबसे पहले लिखी जाएगी. सो फाइनल वैल्यू वाज 3 मीटर, सो 3 मीटर के लिए 3 आ गया, माइनस स्टार्टिंग वैल्यू थी 0 मीटर्स, उसके लिए 0 आ गया, डिवाइडेड बाय आपने 0 सेकेंड से लेकर 2 सेकेंड तक टाइम elapse किया. सो 2 सेकेंड इज द फाइनल वैल्यू, उससे पहले लिखेंगे माइनस Initial value was 0 seconds. Okay, so 2 minus 0 it would give you 2, and 3 minus 0 would give you 3. 3 divided by 2 would give you 1.5, and meters per second is the unit. So your speed was 1.5 meters per second, right? Coming towards some terminologies associated with speed. The first one is average speed. Okay, so average speed हमें कब मिलेगी? Whenever the total distance travel in total time. This is just the total distance travel in total time. हमने point A से लेकर point B तक कितना distance travel किया? That is your total distance. And कितना time pass हुआ? That is your total time. So your total distance divided by total time, or S by T, will give you the average speed. Remember that these kinds of brackets are used to describe average values. जब भी हम किसी भी quantity की average value find करेंगे उनको इस type की brackets पे लिखेंगे, right? In this case V average is called V, and इन दोनों brackets को हम read करते हैं as average. So V average equals to total distance divided by total time, or V average is equal to S by T. For example, you travel total 10 meters in 2 seconds. Then S की जगह हम क्या place करेंगे? 10, and T की जगह 2 seconds. So 10 divided by 2 will give you 5 meters per second. So 5 meter per second is your average speed. Okay, coming towards instantaneous speed. So distance covered in very short span of time. Okay, instantaneous का मतलब है for a very short instant, for a very short distance. जब भी हमारे पास distance बहुत ही कम होगा, it means उस distance को travel करने के लिए बहुत ही कम time required होगा, right? Let's suppose we have this distance right over here. In this case, this becomes your point A, and this becomes your point B. In this case, we know that the time is very short. So for very short amount of time, almost we can call it an instant. For such an instant, we have to place this condition. This is called limit del t approaches 0. Limit del t approaches to 0. So in this case, instantaneous speed would become v, which is equal to limit del t approaches to 0 del s by del t. ये वही फॉर्मूला आ गया. सिर्फ लिमिट हमने न्यू इंट्रोड्यूस कराई. दिस इज यूज्ड बिकॉज del t is so small that is almost considered very close to 0. Okay, limit del t approaches to 0 means that the time interval is very short, just like an instant or a moment, right? So in this case, del t हमारे पास इतना कम है that is always almost approaches to 0. Let's suppose हमारे पास 0.1 seconds and 0.01 second or 0.1 milliseconds, like that, right? So जब भी हमारे पास ऐसे शॉर्ट टर्म्स होंगे, शॉर्ट अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम होगी, तो हम साथ ही एक रिस्ट्रिक्शन लगा देंगे अपने फार्मूला पर कि हमने हमेशा टाइम को बहुत शॉर्ट लेना है. सो जब भी हम इंस्टेंटेनियस वैल्यूज़ की बात करेंगे तब ये लिमिट ज़रूर यहाँ पर प्लेस करेंगे. ओके, इट मीन्स ये सिर्फ एक रिप्रेजेंटेशन है ये बताने के लिए दैट your value del t is very small, so small that it is always almost approaches to 0, right? Okay, coming towards the last points, which are a uniform speed and variable speed. So uniform speed is the speed that does not change over time. Let's suppose a car is moving on a motorway. Within 1 hour, वो कार रेस्ट से स्टार्ट लेती है एंड 1 hour कंप्लीट हो जाता है. सो 0 सेकेंड से उसने स्टार्ट लिया एंड 1 hour तक उसकी स्पीड थी 5 किलोमीटर्स पर आवर. ठीक है, आफ्टर दैट 1 hour से लेकर 2 hour तक भी या 2 PM तक भी उसकी स्पीड थी 5 kilometers per hour. In this case, the speed is not changing over time, right? चाहे हम लोग यहाँ पर 3rd hour या फिर 3 PM भी ऐड कर लें, स्टिल 2 hour से लेकर 3 hour तक उसकी स्पीड वही सेम रहेगी, कांस्टेंट स्पीड है. In this case, the speed is not changing with the change in time. So speed stays constant with the passage of time. So आप जब भी किसी पॉइंट से स्टार्ट लेंगे किसी सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम पास करेंगे, इन दैट केस आपकी स्पीड चेंज नहीं होगी. दिस काइंड ऑफ स्पीड इज कॉल्ड यूनिफॉर्म स्पीड और कांस्टेंट स्पीड. वेरिएबल स्पीड इज जस्ट द ऑपोजिट ऑफ इट, the speed that changes over time. Let's suppose आपने 0 सेकेंड से स्टार्ट किया and you went towards 1 hour. Okay, 0 से लेकर 1 hour के दरमियान आपकी स्पीड 5 किलोमीटर पर आवर थी. बट 1 hour यानी 1 PM से लेकर 2 hour यानी 2 PM तक आपकी स्पीड अब 5 किलोमीटर्स पर आवर नहीं रही, अब ये 3 किलोमीटर्स पर आवर हो गई. सिमिलरली 2 hour से लेकर 3 hour तक आपकी स्पीड अब 3 किलोमीटर्स पर आवर भी नहीं है, ये 8 किलोमीटर्स पर आवर हो जाएगी. ओके, मीटर्स पर सेकेंड में भी आप इसे कह सकते हैं, या तो किलोमीटर्स पर आवर या मीटर्स पर सेकेंड. सो इन दिस केस the speed is not changing with the change of time, but in this case the speed is constantly changing um, with the change in time. So this is an example of uniform speed and this is an example of variable speed. Okay, if you have any question then do let me know in the comments or on WhatsApp.